website right now and download my free course on alternate picking mastery. It contains 5 essential exercises that will take you to alternate picking mastery faster than you can imagine. And then I've included my method of how to lay out a practice plan in just 1 to 2 minutes that will absolutely boost your results like nothing you ever tried before. So go download it right now. It's free. If you want extraordinary playing skills, you must follow this simple principle that this video is about. And the principle is not about talking straight. It's about how you look at practicing, because most people look at practicing in a relatively ineffective way, to say the least. And this principle, if you can get this into your mind, it will absolutely change the way you look at practicing, and it will change your results drastically. Radically. So what is it? Well, first of all, go subscribe to this channel. Push whatever button does that on this channel, and then go download our free course on alternate picking mastery, which will give you something to work with as you're using the principle that I'm going to talk about now. The principle is simple, and the reason why it's called the principle is because it works in every part of life, everywhere in the world. And if you can tap into that, it means that you are in alignment with the universe, or God, or the world, or physics, or science, whatever you want to call it, the way the world works, okay? So, what is it? Well, let's just go to another area first. If you are lifting weights, I see that everywhere. I see people go to the gym and they pull these machines and they do the work, and 12 times up and down, and then they go home. And it always puzzles me that why we don't do it differently. Because the only way to grow a muscle is to put an extra demand on it. And when I say extra, I mean something that it cannot do. Well, that's not possible. You cannot lift something that you cannot lift. Either you can lift it or you can't, right? If you can't lift it, you can't lift it, right? But you need to push to that limit beyond what is comfortable and beyond what you really feel like you can do. But, I'm getting tired. Well, that's when it starts, right? Once you've done the 12 reps and you get to the end of it, that's the zone you want to get into, because at that point, you can tell your brain that this is not enough. I'm getting very tired right now, and the only way to push beyond that point is by using psychology. That's why I talk so much in these videos. It's because it's all about psychology, right? Get this. So when you reach the 12th repetition, that's when working out starts, and not before. The other is just maintenance, right? It's just maintaining whatever muscular level you're on. But when you get to the 12th rep and you simply cannot do anymore, that's when you push beyond, right? And you use all the hormones of rage and anger, whatever you need, right? And maybe not rage, but right, you get mad at that, and then you push like that without getting injured. Don't get me wrong. But the same thing goes for practicing. That in order to expand your skills, and I don't mean like, regular playing. I don't mean like, I'm just practicing because it's fun and because I like playing guitar. I mean pushing to the extraordinary skills where you can express yourself because you got those phrasing techniques down to the level of perfection. You master them. They're effortless. Total effortless for you. You don't have to focus on them. Your brain uses them when you play. Right? You shape and form every single note because you're at that level with your phrasing skills, right? Or you can play as fast as the wind, right? You can and it's no effort again. You have mastery over that technique, so you can use it when you play at the right moments, right? That's the level I'm talking about. Extraordinary levels, and that extraordinariness comes at the 12th rep. What is that in guitar? That is intensity. That's why most people never develop to that level, because they can't. With what they do and how they focus on guitar practicing, they can never get there because the brain never allows them to step into that zone. Every single guy who plays the guitar at that high level has been pushing like an idiot for a short period of time, right? He had like a couple of years where he or she had, periods of time where he was obsessed or she was obsessed about practicing. Maybe a weekend, like, you practice for 8 hours in a weekend in your pajamas all day. You're just focusing on it like a crazy person. And the brain goes, this must really be important. Like 8 hours of doing the same thing. I'm not saying doing 1,000 things, playing all the songs of Beatles from back when they started to. That's not intensity. We need intensity. We need that push. And that push, when it comes to guitar practicing, is taking something limited and then hammering away at it, right? So you tell the brain that, look how many resources I'm using here. Look how much time I'm spending, how much focus, and how many resources when it comes to focus and time and energy. And, so you need to become good at it. You need to become efficient at it. You need to make it easy, right? As long as it's hard to do whatever it is that you're doing, chords, notes, scales, you might want to practice scales to the level of perfection. You might want to learn that diatonic scale across the board, across the neck, being able to go horizontal, vertical with totally relaxed, no hesitation, whatever, in any key. That demands focus and energy. Like a magnifying glass, like when you're pushing, beyond that. I don't mean straining yourself. I mean burning through. You cannot burn through with 30 minutes on each day, like a turtle walking along. You can do that, of course, but then you must have these periods of intensity where you push beyond what the brain would normally expect. So it says, okay, we need to make this automatic. We need to totally make this easy because he's using up too many resources on this. Winter's coming. We can't, spend that much resources on learning this. So let's make it automatic. Let's make him a master of this. That's how it works. And it doesn't work in any other way, right? You can practice for 500 years, 30 minutes a day, and you will never get to that zone of mastery, right? Where guitar playing becomes just so joyful because you're not thinking about it anymore. It's just an extension of your body and mind, and you can just play with no limitations, right? Never get to that point. So how does that look in reality? It looks in the following way. You practice 30 minutes a day, by all means do so. But then you create these periods of intensity where you just lose it, right? Where you seem obsessed. Like, it might be a day, right? Where you practice 8-10 hours on that day because you have nothing else to do, because you push everything away. Or it might be a week where you just go at it. The second you come home from work, you don't spend time eating or preparing food. You just eat whatever, right? When you come home, and then you just practice until you go to bed. The first thing that happens in the morning is that you practice, right? You tell your family that that's what I'm doing this week. Next week, I'm spending time with you. But I need intensity, folks. I can't just go oozing along. That's fine too, right? But if you really want to push into that extraordinary level of skill, you need those periods of intensity. And it's exactly the same thing that happens when you push beyond the 12th repetition, is that the brain goes, hey, we can't do this. Hey, you're using up too many resources. We need to grow the muscles. But it won't grow until you push, right? Until you have intensity. So start thinking like that. See? If you absorb this principle into your mind and spirit and body forever, and you think about it all day, that's what you tend to do when you practice. Look for opportunities to practice with intensity, and then you will push beyond what is ordinary into the extraordinary. Subscribe for more free videos. Do it. Do it now. Do it.